Feels so weird to talk in front of a camera again, honestly. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. If you follow me on social media, this is a podcast that I've been raving about and talking about and trying so hard to get up and running, and it is finally here. Welcome, everybody. This is Always Driven Podcast. Honestly, this podcast wouldn't be possible without you guys, so I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that supported me and pushed me to actually get this podcast out. It has been a crazy journey in the automotive industry, and I cannot be grateful enough for you guys. It's been a lot. For those that are haters, for those that are supporters, I'm grateful for both. I was super indecisive about starting a podcast. If you've been following me for a while, you probably have seen that I actually did have a previous podcast. Now, I wanted to create something that was mine and mine only, very unique to my message and my purpose in life. And I feel like it was finally time to speak up and to create this podcast for you guys. Now, this is going to take a lot of work. For those of you that see me on social media, probably noticed that I don't have a lot of social media posts going out right now, but that's because your girl's struggling, okay? She has 2 jobs right now. I'm actually now officially a certified personal trainer on top of me working in the automotive industry. So that is my second job along with being a content creator. So it's been a lot. It's been a whirlwind, but I would not trade it for the world. This is just an intro episode, basically to introduce myself and the podcast. If you don't know who I am, hello, welcome. I am Marissa. I almost said Illest Evo. Wow, it's been a while. So I was actually known in the automotive industry for a while by the name of Illest Evo. I decided to part ways with that name specifically because it didn't feel like me anymore. And it's okay to change. And I feel like I wanted to be known for my name versus Illest Evo because it got to the point where people didn't even know my name. And I wanted to be known for my name. Obviously, that's my birth name. That's the name my parents gave me. So I really wanted to push that. So now it is Marissa Christine. Christine is my middle name, by the way. So if you didn't know, now you know. I am 20. How old am I? That's rough, man. 26? Yes, I'm 26. I'm 26 years old. I'm 26 years old. And I have a 2005 Mitsubishi Evo 8. That is my baby. I've had her for God knows how long. Probably 10 years. Nope, not 10 years. I've had her for 7 years? I think 7 years. I've had her for a while. But she is my baby, and I love her so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, you probably will be able to see a visualization of the Evo. If you're not, I'm so sorry. But she is Apex Silver, so I can go ahead and give you a little bit of a description. She is Apex Silver. She has a carbon hood. I'm looking at a photo of her right now. I'm actually wrapping it purple right now. Shout out to Aluco Vinyl and shout out to Rockstar Garage because they've supported me throughout this whole journey. I've personally been in the automotive industry for, I don't know because I can't do math. I'm just a girl. But I've been in the automotive industry since I was 16. I started working at a body shop when I was 16 and then evolved into technicians, assistant managers, managers of service. Now I'm an operations manager. So I've had a bit of experience in the automotive industry from being a content creator and actually working in this industry for years. I do love it. It does come with its pros and cons, along with the health and fitness industry. I recently went into that industry, so I'm still learning about that. But every industry has its ups and downs for sure, and I cannot wait to dive into a bunch of ups and downs with you guys. I really wanted to create this podcast for a safe space to talk about the automotive industry, fitness, health, life in general. This is going to be an all-in-one podcast where I'm going to talk about a bunch of different subjects, personal experiences in life in general. I feel like I didn't really have a platform really to speak up on past occurrences that maybe if I share with you guys can learn from my mistakes, along with just educating people more and me learning more from other people, because I do plan on having people on this podcast, and I'm so grateful because I'm getting a bunch of people that want to be on this podcast, and I love yapping. If you know me, I'm a yapper. So this is going to be the perfect place for me to go ahead and set up and talk to all of you guys. So if you are interested in being on the podcast, reach out to me. Don't be afraid. You never know, because what I always tell myself is You will never know the answer until you ask. Worst thing that they can say is a no. And if it's a no, then it's not meant to be. And it doesn't hurt. I came up with the name Always Driven. So it took me a while, and I was going back and forth constantly getting, people's opinions on what the name should be. And I finally settled on Always Driven. I mean, always driven is in always driven on the streets, always driven in life, always driven in general. And I feel like that really stands for me as a person, because if you know me personally, I'm a very driven person and I love to learn more things and expand so much. I'm always driven to do more. I'm always driven to be better, and I'm always driven and inspired by others. And I feel like that's what really is the base and this whole center of that podcast, of this podcast, of my podcast. Wow, I have a podcast. I was very weary because I was like, okay, how do I do this? I don't know how. I'd have to get all new equipment. It's a big investment to do all this stuff. I painted my garage. Luckily I had this couch, so we might upgrade though. I had my boyfriend help me install shelvings and stuff. So it took a lot of effort. I had to buy more equipment to get this up and running, but it is all worth it. I also got a new camera. So this is a very new camera that I'm recording with. I really just wanted to start, and I didn't know where to start, and that's okay. Honestly, in life, you're not going to know exactly where to start, but the point is you got up and you started. You took that first step. You took that second step, and then that teaches you, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I'm going to do it this way next time. And that's what this is about. This is about learning along the way and teaching each other things. And I feel like that's what life should be about and embody. And that's what this podcast is going to embody. I hope that you guys stick with the journey, because it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty, but we're still here. Thank you guys for your support. And I can't wait to have my first official guest. I have not decided who that guest will be, nor have I even got a second mic, but we are going to change that very soon. I'm so excited. I just feel so grateful. And one goal that I had was to be able to record my first episode and release it before SEMA. And this is what we're doing. SEMA is coming up very shortly, and I wanted so badly to just have at least one episode on my belt. This is the intro video. And this is nothing but just stating the beginning of a very amazing journey. I hope that we both can learn something from these episodes, because I know for a fact I'm going to keep learning things, and I'm not perfect, but that's what life is all about. And it's about growing and trying to be better every single day. On this podcast, tears will be shed. Tea will be spilled. There will be drama. If you stay, you will find out. I'm so excited because I've stood quiet about so many things in the automotive industry for so long, and this is going to be the perfect place to be able to share my story and my point of view on a lot of things. My friend was just asking me yesterday. We were talking about everybody with the following that we've met is not the nicest. I'm not saying this everybody. There are people out there that really do it because they genuinely love it, and there are people that do it for the money. Now, that is a whole nother podcast that we will get to. I think nowadays we've lost genuinely our purpose, and I've lost my purpose along the way. I started reflecting on all of my content, and I really sat there with myself, and I was like, what am I doing? Is anything that I'm actually saying, posting, creating, helping anybody, or am I just trying to get views? And that's a hard question to ask yourself, especially when you are in denial. You think, no, it's for them. But realistically, is it? I do like to post just random photos and share my life with you guys in that way. But I also forgot my main purpose. And I think that's what I'm trying to recreate here. I'm trying to retell the story of what my purpose is, because sometimes when you're on the road, you do get lost. And it's okay, because as long as you recenter yourself and restart, refresh, and get back on the road again, you'll be fine. I just got a flat along the way. Just needed a new tire, okay? We got a new tire, and we're getting on the road. The road trip is continuing here. I want to create content to help you guys. I want to be that motivation. I want to help others, and that's all I've striven. That's all I've strove for. Jesus, that's all I wanted to do, was help others. And I realized that I got lazy with my content, it is difficult to create content to really show people in depth. You got to get right angles, you got to get good lighting, you got to make sure you add notes, all this stuff. It takes a lot of time. And I did end up finding out that, yeah, I got lazy. Okay. It happens. But I realized that, and I want to go back to creating content that's purposeful, meaningful, motivational, inspiring. And I know that some people might feel inspired by some aspects of my content. That's great, but I don't feel like I'm doing a good enough job. And it's not talking down on myself, but it's like kicking myself a little bit in a way that will only make me better. So I want to be better to be able to help you guys. And that's exactly what this journey is. It's going to be hard because I don't have a lot of time, but when I do have the time, I need to focus and I need to lock in. And I'm locking in for you guys. I'm locking in for this podcast. We're all here in the same world trying to find ourselves. Being 26 now, my frontal lobe is fully developed. Now, am I perfect? No. I am more mature than I was years ago, I would like to think. And I've grown a lot. A lot of it was through podcasts. I've been through some things, and we'll get into that in other episodes. But going through certain things, you can't keep making excuses that, oh, well, I've been through this. Oh, well, I've been through this. You need to actually force yourself to go through it, to sit there and think about it. Is this really how I want to live my life? Am I treating people nice? Am I treating people fairly? Am I kind? And I think those are the hard questions that we actually don't sit with and don't ask ourselves and don't journal and don't listen to podcasts and don't get the help that we need. And we've kind of lost that at times. I know I have. You guys motivate me to be better, and I hope that I motivate you to be better. And that's what this is all about. If you're listening or watching, thank you so much if you made it this far. I appreciate all of your support. I don't know how many times I can say that, but it's genuine and it's from the heart. If you have any episode suggestions, definitely comment, message me. You can find me on marissa.christine, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on the next one.